this working at last? Oh, looks like it's working at last. Been trying to connect for the past 15-20 minutes. I really want to show you guys the beautiful autumn out here. As you can see, the trees are all yellow, and it's a nice Friday morning, and I really don't want to stay at home to do today's streaming, so I came out here into the park. Having a lot of problems with the connection just now, but glad it's solved. Bought myself a venti Americano from Starbucks behind. Boom. This lovely park. It's my kind of like, it's not even really a full park, but just a space in the middle of the city. It's my favorite now. I'm gonna find a better angle. Hold on. Get an angle where you guys can see more of the park. Put on the sunglasses, look better. Boom. And bon appetit. Afiat tosun. So for those of you who were trying to connect to my chat stream just now, but couldn't, yeah, I was having a lot of problems with the connection just now. So can you guys hear me? You see the trees all turning yellow here in autumn. Beautiful autumn morning here in Istanbul. Very lazy mood. A lot of people just hanging around. As you can see, it's not really like morning. It's already about 11 a.m. 11 a.m. is my coffee morning time. Morning coffee time. I wake up very late. I typically wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then I do 1 hour of my yoga and meditation to 10 a.m. and then after that I start my day. And for today, just came out here, huge ass venti Americano from Starbucks behind, right here. Yeah. So you guys, where are you now? Like nighttime, early morning, right? Most of my viewers, you guys are from either Singapore or America, so it's either evening time or really early, or dark right now, isn't it? Oh, take a look at the autumn leaves here in this park looks better than elsewhere because they have this same colored trees together like this. So today I started earlier than I used to, yeah. So nobody on yet. Kids playing in the playground. Lazy brown dog sleeping. Beautiful autumn foliage. Of course, foliage means on the ground. Okay, so it's not foliage here. So autumn leaves. Kids playing. And this is a Friday, almost noontime, 11 a.m. Friday morning here in Istanbul. Very slow life out here, I would say. People really take time to relax, enjoy. I'm not even talking about like if you go to China or other such places, Korea, on a Friday morning or any weekday morning, you only see old people and kids in the parks, but not here in Istanbul. In Istanbul, even right now in the weekday morning, is plenty of young people in the park. Plenty. People just take time to enjoy their coffee, enjoy their lives. If you're here, say hello so that I know I'm not talking to myself. Hello. You know, people here in Istanbul are just incredibly friendly. You can just sit down and just pretty much talk to anybody. Back in America, you sit down and try to talk to somebody and they give you the fuck you want look, you know. Such disappointment always. Overall, after almost 1 year here in Istanbul, I can say that having lived in about, lived about what, 6 to 7 countries so far. Istanbul is my favorite city. And honestly, this is my favorite city in so many ways. It's not just because one or two things, you know. So if you guys want to know why I love Istanbul so much, just check out my video on the 5 things that I like about Istanbul. It's just incredible. You don't find, I am yet to be in any country which has all 5 things. Like maybe have 1 or 2 of those 5 things, but never all 5. Check out the video. Why 5 things I like about Istanbul. So nobody's introducing herself, nobody's talking. Very serene, very peaceful, very slow weekday afternoon. Oh, not after morning. Now we only need a fox to jump over the lazy brown dog. You know, really love the mood out here. This view here, like this, oh, such a good view, right? The autumn leaves overhead, cool weather, lazy dog, kids playing. Man, this is really such good energy out here. I'll show you guys more of the place. Once I finish this, I'm gonna leave. So if nobody comes, then yeah. See, this place is a favorite for people to have their meals as well. See, over there, there's also a lady drinking coffee and having breakfast. You see? Just like me. Of course, I don't have breakfast. I only drink coffee. This is my breakfast. Can you guys? Oh, good morning, Sherry. Las Vegas, nice. So it's way early morning right now, yeah. Good morning from Istanbul. Oh, it's a cool autumn. As you can see, autumn leaves overhead. Las Vegas, you don't have autumn, right? It's hot all the time. This beautiful little park here in Istanbul. I'm having a venti Americano. Can you imagine this venti Americano is only $2 US dollars. $2 US dollars. Can you imagine? This is the kind of price you get here in Istanbul. $2 US dollars for venti Starbucks Americano. That's why Istanbul is really one of my favorite cities to live in. You know, it's cheap, it's beautiful. People are just so super friendly. You know, we can sit around. If I'm not doing this, I'll probably be chatting up these guys here. And people love to chat here. Like back in America, when you sit down in the park and you start to chat to someone random beside you, more than half the time you get the fuck you want look, yeah. But not here, no. When you start to chat somebody up, immediately people are open. Oh, Northern Ireland, good morning. And it's a morning as well in Northern Ireland. Yeah, you had your coffee. Oh, and Northern Ireland should be this beautiful as well, right? Nice autumn with all the leaves changing colors as well, right? Northern Ireland is so beautiful, right? You guys are all like a breed apart. Oh, Ben, work from home. Hey, Ben, your mom is gonna scold you for watching this abeng again, you know. But today I'm doing this live stream differently out here in the park, my favorite park here in Istanbul. Under the beautiful autumn leaves, in the cool autumn weather, with kids playing in the playground, people taking time, slow life. Take a look. So today we have people from America, from Ireland. It's just so friendly. This is Istanbul. Istanbul people are just incredibly friendly. From Singapore, wow, Singapore, Ireland, Las Vegas, whoa. And here, Istanbul. We're really talking to the world right now. Waiting for my wife to come on as well. I don't think she wakes up. Oh no, she don't wake up in another 1.5 hours time, New York. So. Let me just jump in the screen and vibe with you. You guys are vibing with me right now. Oh. I like this view. Istanbul just feels so, environment just feels so different. And for me as a very hardcore East Asian guy, Northeast Asian guy, I'm like, to me this city, this whole country feels super foreign. Yes, Limpeh is coming in December, so we're gonna spend Christmas together here in Istanbul. Oh yeah, it's a lot of Turkey overall is such a beautiful country. Like there's beauty everywhere, and yet it's cheap. Venti Starbucks Americano for $2 US dollars or $2.50 Singapore dollars only. Venti, the biggest cup. It's cheap. It's safe. I could leave my phone here, walk away, and the phone is still gonna be here. It's clean. You know, everywhere is nice. And people are friendly. People are actually happy. You know, but the average monthly salary here is incredibly low. The average monthly salary here is only about 500 US dollars. Yep. And everybody, the ideal monthly salary here, and everybody is trying to achieve is only about 3,000 US dollars. With 3,000 US no, not 3,000, sorry. What is 5,000 divided by 8? Or about 800 US dollars. 800 US dollars is the ideal wage here. Okay, you can live like a king here if you just have like 1,000, 2,000 US dollars a month. Which is why I love this place so much. I live like a king here. And we're not talking about cheap place as in everywhere looks like damn backwards, you know. I know I've been to a lot of very cheap cities and countries and it all feels backwards, but not here. Down here in Istanbul, you're getting like first world country feel. In fact, this place feels better than New York, cleaner, more beautiful. You're getting that kind of high standard of living, beautiful cafes, beautiful restaurants and cafes everywhere for a fraction of the price. And yes, it snows here. This is a 4-season country, very clear 4 seasons. It snows, that 100%. It snows. There's autumn, there's spring, there's very hot summer. It's a 4-seasons country out here. I know some people think Turkey is Middle East. No, Turkey is Europe. This is not Middle East, by the way. This is Europe. That's why everybody is very Europe style here. This is not a place where everybody this is Europe out here. Of course, you know, before I came to Istanbul, Middle East thinking as well. Until I came here, I got like, wow, my mind is blown. This is nothing like Middle East. This is 100% New York. No, 100%. I wouldn't say New York, but I would say London feel. If you go down to the fashion streets, you go down to the pub and nightlife streets, you see all the punks, you see all the kids, they all how they dress, how they behave. It's very London style, Europe style. Can you imagine? And people are happy with an average salary of about $500 a month, and people are so happy. Of course, you know, like there are social problems here as well, and people are not happy with their government like any other countries in the world. But it doesn't stop them from smiling when they walk, happy. Pretty much doesn't stop them from being happy, and that's what I'm very impressed about this country. In some countries, people are so caught up with hating the government and hating everything that's going around that pretty much has nothing to do with their daily life. That every day they look and behave bitter over things that do not actually matter or affect their daily life. This is what I call the story world. People living exclusively in a made-up world in their head, that they spend all their life in bitterness. When if you look carefully at the real world around you, okay, just look at the bench, look at the people, look at the flowers. The real world is a paradise. It's always beautiful. There's none of those stress factors that you imagine up in your story world. This is why these days I keep talking about the story world and the real world thing. Because to me, I found that is the key to happiness for most people in modern living. Because of the internet. Internet is kind of like a poison, you know. The internet poisons you by building a very horrific story world in your head about everything that's happening. But that is not happening right in front of you. So it's not in your reality. Okay, but it's giving you a story in which to live in, and that story world is horrific. When the reality of the real world around you is always beautiful. So hell exists, you know. Hell is that story world. Paradise and Eden exist. It's right here, right now. This moment, right here, wherever you are, is paradise. Where there's no stress, where there's no problem, where there's no bad president in front of you. There's no abusive spouse, nothing. Just around. But okay, of course, I would understand that if your abusive spouse is right there in front of you right now, okay, then there are things that you have to do to make your real world better, right? So, but I will cover that in future videos. Now let's see the chat. People probably make the time to eat real food rather than processed. Not really, you know, not really. People here in Istanbul, I see eat out almost exclusively. So I don't see, but people eat a lot of salad, that's true. But these days I wouldn't even call salad real food anymore because of all the GMO, because of all the insecticide, and quite honestly, I don't trust salads outside because I doubt they actually wash and clean those vegetables that are eating raw. I never eat salad out, okay, never. Meaningful words, nice to chat, always nice to meet you, have a good day. But 2 a.m. in Las Vegas, okay. See you, Sherry. Thanks for checking in, appreciate it. It is 11 a.m. here in Istanbul, and I'm in the beautiful Zaman Tashi Park, Istanbul, where people take time to drink coffee, to live their lives slow. Kids playing in the playground. Beautiful autumn leaves overhead in the cool autumn weather. So why the hell am I wearing sunglasses today? Just to look different. It's not even glaring. Just to look different. Some say I look like Donnie Yen. Yes? Take a look. No, I don't eat that kind of things. Not even. Especially not coleslaw. Coleslaw is not salad, okay? Coleslaw is if you're health conscious, then you eat salad. If you're not health conscious, you eat coleslaw. Coleslaw is a piece of shit because coleslaw is putting a lot of good vegetables into a pool of bad mayonnaise and all that sauce. So coleslaw is bad, bad, bad. If you intend to eat coleslaw, might as well just eat a burger. Polar bear, how do you deal with the stress that comes with your trader job? Very good question. I don't live in that stressful world. Yeah. For me, you see, for not just for me, for everybody, all the stress and all the work that you think of in your work exists only in the story world. But when you look around you, in the real world, those things don't exist, right? So the key is two things. Number one, you need to learn how to train your brain to separate yourself from the story world and habitually be in the real world. This is number one, which you can do from my using my meditation system. Just search my channel for the story world meditation system. That will train your brain to separate itself from the story world and inhibit the real world. And second, I make only specific time for me to engage in my job. That means, okay, today I spend 1 hour before my job thinking about my job. That's all. And beyond that 1 hour, I don't do it at all. I don't think about it at all. You see, that's the thing about most people, you know. Why you think your job is stressful is this. Because you allow your brain to stay in the stressful story world 24 hours a day. When what you really need, the kind of time you need to think about your job is usually very little. If you spend, I guarantee you, if you spend only 15 minutes of dedicated time sitting down, 100% focused to think about your job, you will come up with a lot of to-do items in which to do your job and settle your job. But if you do not put aside time like this, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna think about all the stress in your job 24 hours a day and come up with nothing, no to-do items at all. It is highly unproductive, highly stressful, and it's pretty much pointless. That's why I keep telling people, I probably spend only 1 hour a day in my story world. I spend the rest of my day in the real world, which has no stress. The real world has no stress. Do you see my job here in the real world? No, it doesn't exist. That job is in the story world. It's only in my imagination, in my thinking only. And I engage with that thinking only during specific time. I have trained my brain to the extent that my brain do not wander into that thing without my permission. That is the key. And if you want to develop that kind of ability where you can train your brain to not wander into the stressful story world, but keep it under your own control, to be engaged with the story world only when you want it to, you need to do the meditation. There's no other way to train your brain. Meditation is brain training. And not all meditation are the same. The one that I created is created specifically for this purpose, right? Let's take a look. So yeah, to summarize, I deal with the stress that comes in my job in two ways. Number one, I only engage with thinking about my job with during certain times. I plan the time that I think about my job, and I don't think about my job in any other time. Only this 15 minutes to 1 hour of the day, I think about my job. That's all. Outside of this time, I do not allow my brain to go into that story world, because the world is so beautiful around me. Why I want to spend all my life in the story world? But that is not a choice for most people, because you have not trained your brain to do so. And that training needs to come can only come with a systematic training, which is my story world meditation training system. It's for free. Just check it out, practice it for yourself, and see the difference in your life. Very good question, by the way, Polar Bear. Thanks a lot for the question. Hope you have an amazing day too. It's really an amazing day out here. So beautiful. Oh, there's a film crew coming. So maybe they are shooting something here today. See? You see a film crew. It's taking place today. Wow, 9 people online, 10. Wow, Ben. I kind of feel like there's no need to always stress. In fact, there is. I don't know. Okay, yeah. Ben, I think what you said is a very, very important thing. Which is also a very important realization when it comes to spirituality, which is the mortality of our life. Always understand we could die tomorrow. So what's the point of trying to plan 10 years ahead? I don't plan for anything. I never even planned to be here in Istanbul. And when I came to Istanbul, I never planned to be here for a year, okay? I don't plan for anything. I just flow with life. And flowing with life is the best way to live. Why? Because if you checked out my videos on the purpose of life, you'll know that the purpose of life is to experience as much life as possible. And you can only pretty much experience as much life as possible by not controlling what kind of experience comes your way. Accept everything. Flow with it. And then you will experience so much. That's what I do. Oh, I see a film crew. I wonder what they're filming. Wow, 11. Wow, let's see if I can make a new record for the number of viewers today. Yeah, I think also most people like take their life too seriously. Honestly, if you die tomorrow, nothing on earth will change. In fact, even your family will just move on after a while. Will just work itself out. You think, oh, without me, my family won't survive. Without me, I need to support my family. Without me, my family cannot support itself. You know, it's all pure nonsense. Because honestly, without you, your family will do just fine. How I know? My dad died when I was very young, and back then, my dad pretty much holds up the family, and I bet my dad thought that, oh, without him the family will fail. But no, he died, and we moved on. We found our own ways to keep going. Okay, nobody is indispensable in this world. So the thing is, don't take yourself too seriously. Don't think that the world will change if you die tomorrow. Don't think that your problems are so big that it's so over consuming. No. We're just a speck of dust in a speck on a speck of dust in the cosmos. We're here just to experience life. That is the only purpose of us being born into the world, to experience the world. And therefore, as I explained in my purpose of life video, this is the only scientific and indisputable purpose of life. You are here to just, as a traveler, traveling between the time we born until we die, we have this time to experience the world. Honestly, nothing we do between these 2 points matters at all to the earth, to anything, to anyone, honestly. Or we're not that big a deal, Amazing lifestyle and thinking about life, very un-Singaporean, I don't really know what Singaporeans are like anymore, because I have not lived in Singapore for about 20 years. So I pretty much lived all my adult life away from Singapore. So I don't know what Singapore thinking is like anymore. But I say being everywhere in the world shaped my thinking a lot. Yeah, that I see the world very differently after having lived in so many countries and so many places. I used to own properties, but I sold them. And right now I just wander around the world. How do I maintain a long distance relationship? It's actually very simple. When you and your spouse are both independent and strong financially and emotionally, you don't need each other to be around all the time. You simply don't need. You're free to allow each other to explore and experience life to the max. Because why? Let's remember that eventually the purpose of life is to experience life. And there is no greater crime in the world than to stop someone from experiencing life to the max, because life is very short. That's why imprisonment is the default punishment around the world. Why is imprisonment such a big deal? Because you're taking away not freedom, you're taking away the person's right to experience life. Yes, that is the truth. It's not about freedom. Purpose of life is never about freedom. What you want to do with freedom? If you do not need to experience anything, you don't need freedom. The whole point is the freedom to experience, to do things, to experience life. And so if you're in a relationship that keeps you from experiencing things, if your boyfriend says that you cannot go to pub anymore, you cannot hang out with your friends, you cannot go this, you cannot do that, you cannot take a 6-month vacation without me. Honestly, you're with a very insecure and very weak partner that is doing nothing but limiting your experience of life in this very short period of time you have on earth, which means that you, I'm sorry that that is the truth, you know. We are born in this world alone eventually. Yeah, and Ben, if you understand this, just understanding this alone, honestly, that's pretty much 90% of the spiritual practice anyone needs for to live a, I would say, more liberated everyday life. Of course, you can go much deeper, but for most people, for everyday life, that is pretty much all you need to understand. What are your favorite books? You'll be surprised I don't read at all. Yeah. If you ask me, the book that I've read the most in the world so far is the Bible. Yeah. I read so many different versions of the Bible. So the Bible is probably my most favorite book, because to me the Bible is, to me, the history of mankind, and to me I am very interested to know where these genes that have been passed down to me for millions of years came from. What's the story? Hi Shishis, how are you today? Wow, 11 of you. You see, today I brought you guys out here into my favorite park here in Istanbul, under the beautiful autumn leaves, cool autumn weather, kids playing in the playground, people enjoying a slow life. The film crew just left, and the time you can see here is about 20 past 11, and I'm having a venti Starbucks out here in the park. Why venti? Because it needs to last for the whole session of the whole stream session. So I bought a venti. Can you guys imagine? This venti Starbucks is only $2 US dollars, or $2.50 Singapore dollars. It's that cheap here in Istanbul. You can drink Starbucks all day long and not go broke here in Istanbul. You know? Doesn't even feel premium anymore. Still waiting for a chance to La Kopi with you in real life. Yes, I think we'll have a chance. I think at some point, 100% I would visit Singapore, but I would probably not visit Singapore when the quarantine requirement is still on. I think it's a waste of time to go there just to get quarantined for 2 weeks again. Yeah. Park is lovely. Yeah. Thank you very much. You know, I deliberately wearing this, not even glaring, just trying to put out a new image for you guys. You know, you see, I actually 진짜 열심히 하고 있어. Now every day just trying to entertain you guys. New image, new thinking all the time. Honestly, this is making it very hard for me to see the screen and the chats. Now autumn is really my favorite season of the year. In 4 seasons countries. Yeah. Well, that's why Ben, the thing about life is this, you know, always treasure what you're doing like right now, because like the 1410 days, it's not gonna come back. 100% guarantee you. I'm not gonna do it again. So every time you do something, do it like it's the last final time in your life that you're ever gonna do it. Every time you come to a country, leave it like it's the final time you're gonna visit the country. That's what I think. This is probably the final time I'll ever be in Istanbul. Every time you leave a person, understand that could be the final goodbye as well. This is how life really works. It's not even a positive thinking thing. It's just reality. But the good thing about life is this. Now, life is a paradise. That if you understand and live according to that reality, you actually live a much more memorable and much more beautiful life. Try put up. Look like Donnie Yen. Yeah. Thank you for appreciating the new image, Joe. This is why my motto in life is always cherish the moment. Yes. quite honestly, memories, a lot of people say, like, in the end, we're just trying to build good memories. Honestly, even though if you have watched my purpose of life video and it looks like the whole purpose of life is to collect memories, right? Not really, because memories are the worst lies you tell yourself. Honestly, today if you are merely a clone and all your memories are injected into you and they never actually happened, you won't even know. You won't even know. And in fact, I could hypnotize you, convince you completely of a childhood you never had, and you will never know that it's not true. That is how unreliable memories are in the end. So in the end, there's no such thing as the past. There's no, because the past exists only in your memory. And since your memory can be implanted by so many ways around you, you can't even trust your memory. There is only one moment of reality ever, which is this moment. This moment right now, I'm looking at the screen, this is the only reality. Where I came from, did I come from some place, some hotel? Was I born in Singapore? What did I come from anywhere? Was I born to? You never know, no? Even I can't be very sure. Who can say 100% right here, right now, that you can answer those questions 100% sure? If you can, you're very delusional because you're believing whatever is in your brain 100%, and that is not dangerous, but that is a very stressful way to live. Because why? Because along with those so-called memories is a lot of bad lies that you've been telling yourself and society have been telling yourself all your life. And if you believe all of that, then you live a very bitter life. So always remember, this moment is the only reality you ever have. There's no other reality. This moment is the only reality. What we're experiencing right now is truly reality. Even if it's a simulation, this moment, what you see right now in front of you, is the only existential fact for you. You get what I mean? You can close your eyes, reach out and touch that thing. Although we can all, of course, the next level down is we can all argue that even this moment could be a simulation, could be a dream. In fact, if you have a lucid dream, you could touch and feel and smell things like reality as well. Okay, but we're not going there. That's the next level down. At least in the virtual or the seemingly reality that we live in, this moment is the only reality. Everything else is in your imagination, past and future. Time does not exist, Time is not the fourth dimension. Time exists only in the brain. And and there's a lot of experiments that already prove that. One of my favorite experiment is the language experiment. You can search for this TED Talk called "The Brain is a Time Machine," and you know that the only reason why we could understand language is because of how we process time in our brain. And that is why a lot of animals could not understand language, because a lot of animals live in the present moment and they are very present. In fact, they are more spiritual than human beings in that aspect. Yeah. Very deep discussion, very deep thinker, Ben. Ben, you're on the right track, but you need specific exercises and guidance to go deeper and to understand more. I'll be willing to help you on that. On that, if you think you've reached a point in your life where you need to know deeper and know more, okay. But I don't think that point in life comes before you're 40, to be honest. Because right now in your life, I bet there's still a lot of things that are more meaningful to go for. The peak of your career, that new experience, becoming famous, becoming rich, driving the Ferrari. You have to experience all these things first before you come to that point. This is why I always say, spirituality is not against being wealthy. In fact, you need to be successful and wealthy to see the real point of spirituality, and not to take spirituality only as an excuse not to achieve in life. Oh, a lot of people, these are the true losers in life. Yeah? A lot of losers in life uses spirituality as an excuse to condemn their own state of non-achievement. And that is the saddest way to live, you know. When you are not even working hard enough to build your own life in the way that you want, but go around saying that, oh, I believe in God only, you know, I am not materialistic, I don't care for what you guys are achieving, but yet when someone drives a Ferrari down the street, you're secretly looking at the Ferrari. I don't even, you know, to me, you can drive whatever cars down the street, you know. I reach a point where I don't even care to look, and if I look, I don't feel anything. To me, it's just another car. I really reached that point. That reminds me of time as the fourth dimension, but no, time is not the fourth dimension, Shish. It has been proven experimentally and spiritually, even in spirituality, all spiritual traditions have been talking about this for aeons, and science is proving that there is no such thing as time. Okay, time is not the fourth dimension. In fact, there are 13 to 18 or innumerable dimensions, and dimensions is not because of time. Dimensions are simply this, very simple. You think you live in a three-dimensional world, right? But you think you're looking at a three-dimensional world, but it's not, you know. You're only looking at a two-dimensional picture of a three-dimensional world. You're incapable of looking and seeing three dimensions. And in the same way, we are incapable of looking at and perceiving the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dimension, which all exist, but it's just beyond our perception. And 3 dimensions is the most perplexing, because we all take for granted that we live in a 3-dimensional world. But have you realized that you are incapable of perceiving 3-dimensional? You're only looking at a 2-dimensional picture on the retina. Think about it. To me, all these are not necessary. I don't wish to experience the luxury. No, Ben, you do not wish to, okay? But until you have experienced it, you do not know the reality of it. It's like saying that I know how an apple tastes like, I don't need to eat an apple. But until you really eat an apple, you don't really know. That is the thing. That's why I still teach people how to make money, how to be successful, how to work towards success. Why I still teach people these things, because these things are essential to reach the real point where you understand the purpose of spirituality, like I do. Until you reach that point, until I've eaten the apple for real, you're just imagining what it's like, and imagination is not real pursuit. You have become rich to become spiritual. You don't have to be rich to become spiritual, but you need to go far enough down the road of trying to become rich to see the point of spirituality. You can try and fail, and that failure may allow you to see the point of spirituality as well. Basically, it's not that you need to be rich or famous or already become successful. You don't need to be Bill Gates, but you need to be on that path to go through the experience to understand what the role that spirituality play in mankind, if it makes sense. I don't know, just luxury things never fascinates you. Yep. You just blow my mind. Oh shit, I just did, right? Most people do not realize that you cannot even perceive 3 dimensions. Don't talk about 4, 5, 6 dimension. You are incapable of even perceiving 3 dimensions. So why talk about 4, 5, 6 dimensions? You know, the Buddha says this. The Buddha says the root of all suffering is ignorance. But I say the Buddha is wrong. You know why? Because let me ask you, what is the root of all ignorance? I have figured that out through my meditation. The root of all ignorance is our limited perception. Simply because we cannot see everything all together, simply because we cannot see everything into this 11th and 13th dimension, simply because when you stand at one side of the 6, you cannot see that it's actually a 9, or you stand at the side of the 9, you cannot see that it's a 6. That produces judgment and duality, which leads to ignorance, if it makes sense. That's like Mike Tyson, how he humbled down after exactly. Oh Ben, you're really on the path, Ben. You're on the right track to understanding the reality of life. So what's the point of understanding the reality of life? A lot of people, you like my lifestyle, or you like how I am, right? And this is how I am in real life. No, I have real life friends that experience me the same way. The thing is, understanding life allows you to become free and liberated and happy like this. It's not about what job you have, how much money you have, where you are, and what you're experiencing. No, it's about a deep and profound understanding and experience of life. And when I say life, I don't mean becoming famous or rich or anything. No, but real life and its essence of life. Until you understand and touch that dimension of profoundness about life, you'll always be trapped in the rat race. You'll always be trapped in the story world. And the story world is hell. This is paradise. Everywhere I go to is paradise. Everywhere. Simply because I'm not in the hell, the my-made story world, which is hell. Wow. So, Shiz, do you think there will be a time where we humans will be able to learn how to read? No, there will never be a time. Because functionally, we are created this way. The only time, but the benefit of being a human is this, is that we are given an intellect that allows us to break out of the limited understanding of physicality. Animals do not have this intellect. So, but the problem is, as humans, we have abused this intellect to create nonsense in this world. Okay? Nonsense that we don't need. Nonsense that create more lack and suffering in this world. Like iPhone. We never needed an iPhone. I grew up in an era without iPhones, without the internet, and we all live fine and happy. But right now, everybody is like always saving money for the iPhone and all these things that were never needed in the first place. We've created so much lack and unnecessary things in this world through our intellect, and in the process, we're destroying the earth and this environment. We are abusing the intellect that God has given us for the purpose of looking beyond and understanding beyond physicality and to touch that dimension, the profound dimension of the reality of life, existence, and consciousness. This is what we have been given our intellect for, but we have abused it tremendously, which is it's very sad, but it's reality. We don't have to be sad over it. Because why? Because always understand that we can only accept reality as it is. This moment will always be the way it is. And in fact, whatever that I just said just now about how we're destroying the world and everything, this is all in the story world. This is all story world. You look at around me right now, right here in this park. Where's the destruction? There's no destruction. Where's the creating suffering? There's no suffering. Everybody's nice and happy. And so the real world is Eden, is paradise. A lot of people are trying to look for where Eden is. This is where Eden is. The real world is Eden. Eden is not a park, was a park that God planted somewhere that expanded throughout the whole world. We're just Adam and Eve who have taken the fruit of knowledge of good and of right and wrong, and therefore in our dualistic mind, we've created a dualistic hell in our brain called a story world, where most of us just live our whole life in suffering, pretty much. Oh, Ben, that's true, because people always strive to reach the pinnacle of success, and once they reach the peak, they gain truth. Yeah, that's why, very sadly, you will find that a lot of very prominent, enlightened beings in the world, in history, were all very rich and very powerful people. Buddha was a prince. Kongzi was a minister. Was one of you can say he was almost like the prime minister already. Kongzi. Laozi was very prominent as well. And none of them were ever poor. They're all very rich. You need to be at that point to see the impermanence and the nonsensity of life. But of course, trying to reach that point, that journey itself might allow you to realize that. For me, I realized that only because I reached the peak. Not just once, I reached my peak twice in my life. Peak as in I am chauffeur driven, I have bodyguard. When I walk down the street, my bodyguards make sure that nobody comes within 2 meters of me. That was how rich and powerful I used to be, okay? Okay, Ben. Oh my God, Limpeh, if you ever have a podcast, I would love to have long talks. Oh man, it's very tiring. Ben, just doing 1 hour of this takes up a lot of my energy. You don't know how exhausting it is to do a live stream now, because it takes up every time I give an answer to this kind of question, I dig within my life energy to produce that answer, and actually it drains me a lot. If you have been following my Instagram and my Facebook lately, you see that I've been feeling very drained out because of sharing too much, and I have to do a lot of practices, new practices, just to keep up my energy. Wendy, I think if you worry where your next meal come from, you don't have time to do philosophy. Yeah, exactly, Wendy. Yes. If survival is an issue, then you will be like an animal. You can only think of survival, and honestly, that makes you not different than a stray dog and stray cat. Not this is not to belittle you, because not to belittle anyone in that situation, because I don't belittle the stray cats and stray dogs as well. But honestly, when you live like that, you're living no better. This human life is kind of wasted. So please work hard. Please work hard to be successful in your life. But understand that success itself do not even exist. It's not an existential reality. Check out my video on there's no such thing as success. Knowing that there's no such thing as success, fight for it. Why? To fulfill your purpose of life of experiencing varied experiences in your life. And to do what? In order that you will realize your higher purpose. I may make a video about this very soon. That the next deeper stage about my purpose of life video is really this, what's the purpose of then your brain collecting all this experience? The ultimate purpose is simply this. Your brain will come to a point where it collected enough data in the way of experience to understand that this is not what we're here for. It will come to that point, and that's when your brain will start to bring you on the real purpose of a human life, which is the spiritual search. We feel about this. It's simply spiritually calming and healing. Oh man, it's healing for you, but it's tiring for me. Okay. That's why, why it energizes you, because I'm giving out my energy to you guys. And in giving out my energy to you guys, I'm draining my own energy. That's why when you watch my videos, when you watch my stream, you feel good, because I'm giving you my energy. This is the same thing I do when I teach my option trading classes. When I teach option trading, I do it on video. I don't do it on text. I don't just make one video and post. I do it live like this. Why? Because I need to send that energy to my students so that success is not just a method. Success is owning the success and money energy. You need to have the money energy, and I need to give some of this money energy to my students. That's why if you have been following me on my Facebook, you know that right now I'm giving online classes for options trading as well, and I only do it 2 weeks in a month, once a month only, because after every intake I'm so worn out. I give out so much of my energy that I need at least 2 weeks to recharge. The money and success energy I need to give to my students. Otherwise, no matter what I teach, they will never be successful at it either. This is why you can never learn to be successful by watching YouTube videos. This is why you can never learn to be successful at options trading or any form of investment or business by reading a book. Because the more important than reading the book, and more important than the information itself, is the energy that the teacher gives to you. You lack the money energy. In the end, that is the real problem. You lack the success and money energy, which you can get from two ways. One, you either generate it yourself over a long period of time, the hard way, or you get it from a teacher. Like I had long talks in real life about things, I feel so refreshed. People like you, a rare gem. I feel like you're a messenger messenger for who? For what? I am. If you ask me, I'm Lucifer's messenger. Don't drain yourself too much. I don't want you go on a break for recharging, cause we'll miss you. Thank you. But for me, right now, because of all my practices, I can say that I've reached a point where I pretty much am able to recharge and maintain my energy. So I should be able to do whatever I'm doing right now on and on and on and on, perpetually without burning myself out anymore. I think this is a point that I've only reached here in Istanbul, where I really ramped up my spiritual and meditation practices here, and boom, one day I just suddenly I felt the explosion and of life within me, and that's when I started making videos every single day. Yeah, about starting from about mid-September, I started to feel it like boom, I had this breakthrough in my practice and spirituality, in my energies, and that I'm able to just keep at this high level energy for a very long period of time right now. Hey Ben, I'm not doing MMA anymore. I'm pretty much handicapped right now. Right now I can't even lift my arm. Yeah, this is as far as I can lift because of a torn scapula. So I'm right now disabled. Basically, I need surgery on my scapula. But even with surgery at my age, I may recover, but I'll still not be able to do that kind of sports anymore. So yeah, but you know, I'm not sad or miserable or bitter over it. I'm just using this opportunity as an opportunity to move on to the next stage of my life, which is spirituality. And I'm very thankful for this injury, because honestly, if I never had this injury, I would never have gone into deep meditation and deep reflections that gave me my breakthrough. And this breakthrough is, I would say this breakthrough pretty much sets me for the rest of my life, you know, because it's so important. I'm so thankful for this experience. I'm so thankful to be driven out of Singapore unwillingly, and then to be here in Istanbul, to be injured and handicapped like this, so that I come to this stage of life where I have so much spiritual breakthroughs to share with everybody. I'm very grateful. I'm still spring chicken. No, spring chicken on the outside, but when I'm coming 46, you know that. So when you're in your mid 40s, coming 50s, right? Tendon injuries and ligament injuries will never fully heal. So you need metal parts to put them together in your knee and everything. And when you do that, there's no way you can do contact martial arts anymore anyway. So either way is fucked. So I don't care anymore. Can you share some tips about how to keep energy balanced? Well, meditation is the tip. Follow my story world meditation, because that is very beginner friendly. Start from there. I meditate at least 3 hours every day, every day. And on a weekend, I meditate upwards of 5 to 6 hours. Meditation is really something only human beings can do in this world. Hibernation and meditation is different, by the way. Bears can hibernate, but they cannot meditate, And that is the way you get in touch with that endless source of energy. Just try. It's very hard for me to explain deeper, because when I explain deeper, you're gonna imagine, like it becomes fairy tale. Like people will say, we like Limpeh to be very practical. Why are you talking about not practical, like sen tao tao, spiritual things like this? I don't like to talk about too deep aspects of this kind of thing, but I'll try to keep it very practical. So keep it very practical. She's the solution. Your whole solution is in my story world playlist. Not just the meditation. Watch the video about real world versus story world, and then reflect upon that and see the reality in your life. I think that helps the most for anybody. To me right now, at this point, I honestly feel like this is the only thing, the most powerful thing that a human being can realize. To be honest, this is honestly how I feel now. You look like a bozo. Yeah. Honestly, I don't even know what a bozo is. I don't really care. Well, what a beautiful day here in Istanbul. A nice, as you can see, it's almost noon time. Nice autumn morning. You can see there's no strong sunlight, also very soft light morning. I really love this. Kids playing the playground. people taking life slow, people just sitting around relaxing, taking life slow, enjoying life. And you know, it's not like in some countries where during this kind of time there's just old folks and children in the parks. No, young people of people every age is just taking life slow and easy out here. Even the lazy brown dog. See this dog here? This dog is one of the unique things about Istanbul, you know. All these registered stray dogs and stray cats are well taken care of by the community and the people here. And you pretty much see them everywhere in every tourist site and things like that. Oh, can only have one kid over here in Istanbul? I don't know. I don't know how many kids you can have here in Istanbul. But is it just one? I bet it's more. I don't know. So yeah, it's been an hour. So thank you guys for joining me in my chat today. I hope it's been entertaining, refreshing, and maybe somewhat enlightening. I don't know, but very much love and happiness that I send to you guys wherever in the world you are right now. Thank you for coming to my live stream, and see you guys tomorrow for my meditation live stream, and next Friday for another Friday morning chit chat with Limpeh. Annyeong.